BOOS. Harry under pressure to break his promise to the Queen caused his memoir never appeared. Reports this week suggest that Prince Harry's long-awaited memoirs could be delayed. This follows news that the pair are under pressure from Netflix and Spotify to deliver on their multi-million-dollar commitments. The royal editor Rebecca English says that since signing their big deals the media companies have precious little to show for it. I think it's fair to assume that there will be a lot of pressure on them to produce, she tells Palace Confidential. How much this will ratchet up the pressure on them to talk about their time as members of the royal family, to talk about what it was like to be part of the institution of the monarchy, which are things that Harry promised his grandmother he wouldn't do. Meanwhile, royal biographer Robert Hardman, whose latest book Queen of Our Times, The Life of Elizabeth II is out now, says that the buggy used by Her Majesty at the Chelsea Flower Show this week should answer the constant preoccupation with her health. Meanwhile, there has been shock at the news that Prince Andrew intends to take some part in the Order of the Garter ceremony as part of his mother's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Given the circumstances around his stepping down from royal duties, Rebecca English believes that he is taking a risk. It's the first time we'll see him reacting up close and personal, reacting with members of the public. Could he even be booed? The diary editor Richard Eden says he was shocked by the news. The prospect of him, parading through Windsor in his velvet finery and feathers, my goodness. It's horrendous. He should be playing no part in public life and certainly not for the royal family, he tells the programme. Let's hope wise counsel prevails and he is persuaded not to take part. Meanwhile, royal biographer Robert Hardman, whose latest book Queen of Our Times, The Life of Elizabeth II is out now, says that the buggy used by Her Majesty at the Chelsea Flower Show this week should answer the constant preoccupation with her health. I would turn it around and say, isn't it amazing the amount of stuff she's doing, not what she's not doing, he says. To be well into your 10th decade and to be so engaged with public life that she is, I just think it's remarkable. Prince Harry's memoir has been long labelled a late 2022 release, yet, as we approach the midpoint of the year, a release date is still not set in stone by either the Duke of Sussex himself or his publisher, Penguin Random House, leaving questions as to whether it will be released this year at all. This could be for good reason, says royal expert Roya Nikha, and it could be linked to Harry's return to the UK for the Platinum Jubilee next month. Nikha, writing in the Times and reported, says a delayed publication date would avoid overshadowing the events of the Jubilee, but could also give the Prince a chance to write about the Jubilee experience in the heavily anticipated book. Nikha says it would provide Harry an opportunity to give his account of attending next month's celebrations with Meghan and their children, the first time the Sussexes will have been reunited with the royal family for more than 2 years. The behind-the-scenes details of the Sussex return, which will reportedly not be captured by Netflix cameras, would make a compelling coda to his memoir, which was announced last year as an intimate and heartfelt memoir about his life, which he calls accurate and wholly truthful, the definitive account of his experiences, adventures, losses, and life lessons. I've worn many hats over the years, both literally and figuratively, and my hope is that in telling my story, the highs and lows, the mistakes, the lessons learned, I can help show that no matter where we come from, we have more in common than we think, Harry wrote of the memoir. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share what I've learned over the course of my life so far and excited for people to read a first-hand account of my life that's accurate and wholly truthful.